country, the decision that he had to take multiple to go and completed his bar exam in Sierra Leone. A man of humble beginning, but is very steadfast in his beliefs, particularly. And I'm not surprised that, from what I'm hearing in Sierra Leone about him, he's doing a great job, really. Just keep it up, Mr. Jones BCC. Even the very fact of being chosen as a chairman for this session today shows a good deal. And I am pretty sure he's going to exhibit those qualities of him that I believe will have to keep us together here this evening. Mr. James BCC, I am everybody knows it here. So this is the man that we're going to have as our chairman. Will you please stand up, Mr. James BCC? Thank you very much. My job is over. It's very, very simple one. And I hope and I wish the very best of you to execute the function very well.
Much appreciated, sir. Thank you very much. Mr. Sese, can you take it, please? So, I can now leave the stage, sir.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My brother, what else can I say? Thank you for such a glowing introduction of my person. Thank you so much. I'm very grateful. Colleagues, seniors, good evening. The major bench, my one and only Ali, my brother, good evening. Good evening to you. My job here tonight is to briefly introduce the purpose of why we are here tonight. Like my very senior said, I have always stand against injustice, and that I will do. My relationship with the progressive came when, at some point, the chairman and another fighter were arrested and detained at the CIA Central to see how best we can do to rescue them. We are all aware where we came from as a nation since 2023 elections. We saw what we never anticipated. It's like it was then thrust on us with no excuse. And so, what we know back in Freetown, I know many of us, my colleagues, have been detained. Summarily, detained with no justification. Arbitrarily. Those things that came to me because people begin to speak. We almost be aware of the atrocities committed by people who took to the streets wanting to vent out their own pain. That is an abomination in Freetown today. And these are the things that laid the benchmark. When I came to realize what people were going through, I decided to take a stand. And this is why I'm here tonight. That many of us as lawyers are going to head. Everywhere people have diverse to find the answers to those issues. And this is the thing why we decided let's have an open conversation. And tonight is the night. This is not a
they lock them up. Just if it's Salomon Sabikons, when you take example, what he say, you know, they can. Human will say, we know it can.
or should I say that the citizens are left vulnerable. He has placed his mind to fight that fight. He's somebody that I personally revere so much because he doesn't take a no for an answer. Tonight will not be here to tell you what all it contains in him. I'm only introducing him, but you will find out for yourself who. If you look at him, he's always a humble guy. He has an eye for detail. He's not somebody you can very respect. Lawyers in our jurisdiction today, and he's here coming from a lot of other walks of life, but he wants to be part of this. Allow me to present to you our keynote address giver tonight, Mr. Auguste Suri Segbe Mara.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm very, very excited to be here this evening. And thanks to the progressives who have come out this evening. Thanks particularly to my people of this progressive trade. This evening to communicate in English. I prepared speech because I take all functions very seriously. I take them very, very seriously. Because it's only when we take ourselves seriously as well. I turned 40 about a week or so ago. Oh, no, it's I turned 40 about 2 weeks ago, or less than 2 weeks ago. I hope it's serving all my life. I think the longest I've been out of serving months. So I studied in serving in my primary school, secondary school. I did masters in human rights and democratization. Because I love democracy. It's because also I'm certified test democracy and also to offer my yes, so I am very, very, very happy to be part of this conversation because the fact of the matter is we do not were once known globally. It's a beautiful country. West Africa. Now we have suddenly become and it is an indictment on every one of us. I have this end of freedom. we have politicians, due respect to my friend, it's a different politician. But we have a tendency of writing these speeches. We come and deliver them, some beautifully, some not so beautifully. The idea is that we tend to just tick boxes and go back to square one. This should not happen. We live in a state that some time ago, not too long ago, less than maybe half a century ago, Sierra Leone used to be a place where they would export experts to other countries in West Africa. In history, it was said that Sierra Leone was the citadel of British civilization. It was where administrators were trained and they were exported to Lagos and to, what's the other place, Matos, Gambia, and across West Africa. Gambia. So there's a little Gambia. You see soldiers. You go to Accra, you see soldiers. When you come to Sierra Leone, you see every character of a land. None of us is exempt from indictment. And I tell my friends lawyers that perhaps we are the demise of the litigation. We study law, we're in the room where we advise politicians, but when it comes to critical moments, once personal aggrandizement is introduced, people tend to look the other way. We to the nation. And I have said, I associate with progressives, I associate with patriots, and I've always said that the right thing to be done always is to speak up, is to insist. And I give you an example. Yes, in my speech I covered the difference between imperfect democracy and defective democracy. Nowhere in the world could you find an perfect democracy, because there's no perfection in humanity. Right? But again, you can excuse democracies that have a certain, maybe form of imperfections. It's natural. But when democracy becomes defective, it loses legitimacy. And you can quote anywhere. And I give you an example. In South Africa, when apartheid was on, the people who stood in front to bring apartheid to its knees were lawyers. Oliver Tambo, Nelson Mandela, they built the first black law firm. In the long walk to freedom, Mandela said that they had quite a good practice, that some days when they would show up to work, the long queue of clients waiting for services would be so long that they would find it difficult to meander their way into the offices. Meaning, Oliver Tambo and Nelson Mandela were rich by every description. They had a very good practice. And to become the very first few black lawyers to have a black practice in a majority black country, it means that every black folk would come to you. But one day they said to themselves, we can make all the monies, go back home, give our families beautiful life, but we owe it to the people to close this practice, to join them in resisting apartheid. And that's how they close down that practice. I'm not asking my friends lawyers to close down their practices. I am saying we lawyers to ensure that we are at the fore of resistance. And again, In a crisis of legitimacy, silence is not the answer. In a crisis of legitimacy, you know what I am saying this as somebody who was lived through every colonial in formal college. I could not pay fees. I was kicked out of college. So I know poverty. I have lived through every kind of poverty. That is why I am energized. But I was resilient. I went back to college. A little lucky. Some other Bostons. But I was resilient. I went back to college. A little lucky. Some other Bostons might have been fortunate circumstances. Ladies and gentlemen, when people come together, not doing the wrong thing, we may disagree with the method, disagree with the timing, but we must all agree that the only way we can partisan politics is not to be here, there. It is too good governance. We have back home. It's a government for politics. Ladies and gentlemen, by saying that switch on your tap and water comes through the pipes. No, see that saying. That's saying where part of your prayer is to get. Ladies and gentlemen, we do not only have a crisis. In the Bible, I think in the book of Nehemiah, at some point, the walls came down. The cupbearer had access to resources. He said at some point, I must go back to rebuild the walls. I'm not asking diasporans to learn in what is happening back home. Because when Nehemiah would always come with a cup to the king, he said at some point, was my walls, my time to go and rebuild? He said, fair enough, I will give you that time. I'm not trying to ring the doomsday alarm, but we now have the man in the US. And immigration laws might not be so favorable anymore. We must ensure that we have a good fallback option, and that is hope. So when there's a crisis, there should be an upsurge of interest back home. So we are able to defend and midwife a democracy that caters to all of us. Ladies and gentlemen, God bless you. Thank you.
What can I say? Here you have it. It's going to give you exactly what we expect. It will never stop at anything. As we speak, his inspiration is why bar association in Sierra Leone. That is unthinkable. We came out, we want to make our own according to our rules. All over the place. It is inspiration, his own wisdom. He called all of us around. Listen, where we are not required to be in a sitting place or in a hotel or any place. We can have and today we can boast of the most vibrant law association in Sierra Leone. That is the Lawyer Society. What happens in this matter in case there is a break of this agreement? It's the lawyers from the Lawyer Society, not from the. Ladies and gentlemen, I know you will be impressed when you see lawyers one day as he prayed. The visits by the government, the lawyers need to rise up, and we are coming. I'm seeing our brother here. Mission anyway. Our former AG. Here from him, 1 or 2 minutes. I hand it to Mr. Adima.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor, for such an. I am not surprised. You and I have been in the trenches, parts that society expects us to play. lot to speak of for one of its own. Came out, stood in front of State House, and gave a my cell door was knocked at about 11, 12, and was told. But when I saw some of my colleagues standing out waiting for me, I came out, and thank you very much. To be successful, the rule of law is one. It was impromptu. I came from Windsor and I said I should make it here. I did a research, and diaspora is between 3 to 500 million, 10% of GDP. And it's reduced. The reason is because you cannot put your money, your investment, where you do not think you have protection of. And you were talking about Wadi. Wadi and I on that COP to ensure that certain constitutionalities regarding elections and our electoral processes were upheld. And including when 2 trucks of police besieged her home, I was the only one that was able to go there. She called many people. Many people were afraid to go there, and I went there. And she was locked up for about a month or so. And that night, Dr. Dennis Wright, of CID, and a gentleman named Kelly came down and said, "Are you safely? Can you sleep in a cell?" And that was, yes, I was standing there. And that was how he ended up being locked up for about a week in police cells. This is not the night to tell stories. This is the night to reflect on how we as Sierra Leoneans living in the diaspora can contribute to calling out bad governance. Because don't forget, many of the bad players today came from the diaspora. So I think the discussion should also start here. Because I felt I could do better in Sierra Leone, and I am transitioning into something else, not because I want to be rich, by practitioner, but like he said, do not sit idle by and see things go wrong. Our generation is the lost generation. We are fighting for the generation of our children. We are fighting for the generation of our children's children. So we are asking you all to join us in that fight. Thank you very much.
I'm not surprised, Mr. Adam. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for listening. Looking at our agenda tonight, I can see conspicuously that one expected member of parliament from a British parliament was supposed to be here. And by the look of it, I can now safely say that I don't think he made it. Is that the case?
He came early. He was here early.
Oh, I'm terribly, so we disturbed him. I'm terribly sorry. We apologize. I'm sorry. We have to work hard to see how we can free ourselves from this particular situation. And so, going forward, therefore, particular program has an element of question and answer.
Yes.
And then there is a battery of lawyers, as we say, able enough and ready to answer your questions once you come to that. Please ask your questions. Like I said earlier on, this is not a political platform. It's on stage. We come, then we can talk. Then we find out what is the problem. Then we see how we move forward ahead for building a better Sierra Leone. And that's what I got in this for. Therefore, you are free. Okay, you are free. At this stage, may I call the next lady here to come and make on health and well-being. I call Madam Sisse. Ladies and gentlemen, hands together for us.
It's quite interesting to be a healthcare professional in the list of lawyers. Different instruments and different tools, but all. Good evening, everyone. Just as a point of correction, my brother here is to say, I don't want my husband to kick me out. You forgot to introduce me as Mrs. Isis Sisse Jalo. I'm a Sierra Leonean, not by birth, but by heritage. And the majority of it here. But my parents made sure that I was not just educated within the Western culture, but I was very educated within the African traditional culture. And to constantly remind me that there is no place like home. And that home, even though originally we're from Senegal, for them and for me, that home is none other but Sierra Leone. So everything I do, I eat and breathe is Sierra Leone. Reach the worlds of and those in Sierra Leone. Eloquently about the importance and our relevance as Sierra Leoneans living in the diaspora. And rightly so, not for our generation maybe, generations and those yet unborn. So it is an honor to stand before you all here today to speak about the subject of healthcare that deeply resonates with me as a person, because it is as a tool in terms of the transformation of Sierra Leone. Because it's more than we can ever imagine. You can have all the resources, but if your population is not healthy, your human capital is not, it's irrelevant. I think it's important for us to bear that in mind. So I want to speak about something powerful, in the sense the role of the diaspora in shaping the health and dwellers in Sierra Leone. It doesn't matter where you live, whether you live here in London, or you live in Bo, or New York, or Paris, bit is for because across the world, Sierra Leoneans in the diaspora are making extraordinary lawyers, technocrats, engineers, entrepreneurs, and educators. But more than that, we are bridge. We connect resources. We connect knowledge. And most importantly, through compassion across all the various continents that we find ourselves. And in healthcare, the impact diaspora professionals, including myself, I'm a healthcare professional, 25 plus years, proudly a nurse by background. I'm now a director and chief nurse. And so, from a leadership and management, I can give to my country. We are here as a God through so many ways. Through medical missions. Diasporans are engaged in medical missions, volunteering, and ensuring that we're supporting hospitals and clinics through donations, and we're helping to strengthen the health infrastructure. It's very modest, but I think it's also important sometimes to be in terms of contributing. My husband and I, with the support of the community across, we raised over 50,000 pounds. What to? And we can proudly say, in 2 weeks, just 2 weeks, we were able to tear that ward apart. In Sierra Leone, I can proudly say, not just the best ward, but the also runs chemotherapy outpatients, and it's all for the local and the regional population, because we have patients that come all the way from whether it's the north, east, south to come and have treatment on that ward. So we're very proud of that. We're also involved in capital building. The local healthcare workers, strengthening systems, and introducing new technologies. Policy advocacy, making sure marginalized communities are heard and respected. But as I mentioned earlier on in my opening remarks, it's not just about, it's about community development. I see a lot of you here, my mentors, who and of course, my young ones, as an inspiration for us to continue doing we can do best and what we can do better. is it lawyer? Am I allowed to say lawyer Ademakolu? Yes. You mentioned that diaspora's contribution, careless conversations, and say, imagine if every diaspora decides just they're not called for, say, go na REA, go na Afro International, go na MoneyGram. What will happen to invested about 500, 3 to 500. Yes. So we remember that and pay attention to that. But for me, what I'm going to take away from here this evening is we have to continue to be vocal. And we must keep banging the drums, because that's the only way we're going to influence change. And I'm really glad today it's not about politics. It's not all of us are interested in politics. But it's important as stakeholders for us to be engaged and hold our politicians to account. Question our governance within our country. Children and our children's children can look forward to going and enjoying themselves as they've started doing. So, ladies and gentlemen, as diasporans, we cannot do it alone. And those at home as well cannot do it alone. These kind of conversations is what we need. Listening to each other and building together. So that we can look forward to retirement. And so tonight, I invite us all, whether you've just returned from abroad or have never left Sierra Leone, as I know we're being streamed live, I want us all to ask ourselves, how can we collaborate more? Not tearing each other down. How can we support each other's effort through mentorship and empowerment? How can we ensure that every child, every elderly, every community feels the impact of our shared commitment? So let us, as diasporas, celebrate ourselves, not just for what we give, but for what we represent, a global Sierra Leonean family, united by purpose, driven by love, and committed to progress. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Most alive.
Thank you, Madam Isaac. I knew we will get something from you when I decided to get you here. She's very difficult to get, almost impossible, not just because of her job, but because of various other community engagement. So when I contacted her, she said to me, how long are they for talk? I said, I'll send it to you, Mr. Jado. Thank you very much, sir. Right. 1 a 10-minute break. We took the liberty of, we can't bring you guys here and don't give you water. Yes, we've given you water. There's some food which you can, for about 10 minutes. Don't go away. We have one of the most dynamic, upcoming, and again, just a few weeks ago, and she's doing fantastic work in Sierra Leone. Sierra Leoneans how to do business in Sierra Leone, not just business, but she's going to talk to us, and then we have something from social media, and then we'll take the youth. Oh, we have a youth somebody here. Okay. So we have that big break. We have a few snacks just behind you, ladies and gentlemen. The self-service, pick one or two things there, and then you can come back to the table, your table, and then we will continue the session. And after that, we do Q&A. And like Mr. Cisse said, free to ask any question. We have here. We have Mr. Jenkins Johnston. We have even we have lawyers here. And if you want to ask about the progressives, we have MMT, we have Susan Williams, we have Tamara, and of course myself. So not just ask, don't ask questions about just, you can ask us the progressives. What is the progressive? What do we represent? What are we up to? You're welcome to ask us questions. We have Madam Susan here, she's the Secretary General, also an Executive Director. We have MMT, who is the Outreach Director. We have Madam Zainab Tamara, she's also an Executive Director. So, we can also ask about the progressive. We are non-political, we don't belong to any, and we are stubbornly the progressives. Thank you very much. So, please, food is served. Thank you very much. Put one in picture, please. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Can we slowly settle down? Thank you, thank you, thank you. Can you switch up the music, please? Thank you. Can you settle down, please? Thank you, thank you, thank you. I should say we all kind of settle down again. And we still have some food and we have some, thanks to the people who prepared the food, we've got some takeaway bowls, which is also becoming a tradition now within our community. So since it seems as if when I enjoy the meal, there's plenty of takeaway bowls for us to do a takeaway on our way out. With that said, I will hand over the mic back to the chairman, Mr. James B. Cisse Esquire, for us to continue with the program. Thank you very much, Mr. James B. Cisse. Thank you, sir. By the way, Mr. James Cisse, the gentleman who we're supposed to introduce Al-Hajj Idris Bangoa has finally arrived. So just to let the house know. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. MC. And then we come to the next item right now on the list. By the way, people who they call Al-Hajj now forgive them plenty time. I think if we not be allowed to, they will not learn that. When they say Al-Hajj involved by a matter, I forgive some more time. But they get so many people for dealing. Anyway, we tell that take it. At this stage, we now call for Ms. Mahawa Kamara to come in and give us a report on youth empowerment in the diaspora, right? Sister Mahawa. That's her. I'm sorry for the tea. Come on. So we're not here from this young lady to give us a bit on this particular topic I've just introduced. Miss Mahawa.
Hello. How do they do? How's everyone doing? I know just not eat, so it's but okay. Alright. Good evening, everybody. My name is Mahawa Kamara. You know, I grew up in the diaspora, so that's how I call my name. I just want to say thank you to the committee for having me. And I'm the founder of a company called Connoisseur Consult. I'm a business strategist, and I'm extremely passionate about African business and the development story. Now, I know this is like more of a lawyer talk, a political conversation, but I think there's always room for business and commerce. And I think I want to stop and I want to ask you now all one question. Yeah? What if Sierra Leone is actually not behind? What if, because we are actually ahead? I want to just paint a picture. And I want you guys to go on a little journey with me for 5 minutes while we're up here, okay? Why do I say that Sierra Leone is actually not behind and actually that it may be ahead? Because we hold something called a competitive advantage that the world and even ourselves have not yet recognized. When we hear competitive advantage, when you do business, or even in your career, it's the ability, it's the skill that you have to do something better. And sometimes when we think about competitive advantage, we think about other markets. We think about Silicon Valley, we think about China, Asia, Europe. But competitive advantage is relative in nature. It means being better in a specific way, in a specific time, and in a specific place. So for Sierra Leone, I want to tell you guys that The first one is our ability to leapfrog. We don't have to actually copy any systems that are actually outdated, because trust me, most systems are already outdated. Just think about how mobile money transformed the African banking sector. Sierra Leone can transform governance, fintech, agriculture, energy, and any other sector. Why? We have the ability to actually build new models within our system. We don't have to copy, and we don't have to keep patching the broken ones that are already done. Number two, Sierra Leone is what we call a blue ocean market. But doesn't know we're undervalued, yes. We're underpositioned, yes. But that means we're also underestimated. That means we don't have to fight with Ghana or Nigeria for the crowded space in the market. That means that we can actually create our own new categories within the market. Sierra Leone becomes a place where we test ideas at a low level and trust that is very attractive to investors. We have a chance to create new categories where we actually lead, and we no longer have to follow what's given to us. And then the third one, our diaspora. Our diaspora is the catalyst that actually pushes the country forward, just as the last speaker said. But we're not just here for ceremony. We're not on time for just this ceremony no more. We bring strategy, network, and we bring something called position to the conversation. And that is why I, with my company, we're trying something called Empowering the Leones. This is where we're turning ideas into positioning power. We're showing that currency shape can end and the Leones can sustain. So Sierra Leone doesn't no longer have to participate in the global conversation, but actually takes place. You actually own part of that market and have a voice in the conversation. Sierra Leone is able to participate in the global economy, but sets the agenda in a way that is beneficial to itself. So, this is my call to action to all of us in this room. What if Sierra Leone positions herself boldly? What if Sierra Leone is no longer great to say to the world, this is what I have to offer? What if Sierra Leone positions itself? The world will no longer ask, what do you have to offer? They will ask us, how do we get in on what we have to offer? So here's what I leave you with. Positioning is the real power. How you position yourself, or how you position your country, is extremely powerful. Don't go on social media and talk bad about your country. You have power in your hand when you hold your phone. Don't go on social media and cast and say all those things. You are a representation. You are the first ambassador for Sierra Leone. And it's time for us to position Sierra Leone exactly where it belongs, at the front of the global economy. Thank you very much.
Very well, thank you, Ms.
Thank you. We have just been instructed by the chairman that in the next session, the remaining speakers will be given a platform because of the time vis-a-vis with the people in charge of this place. So we want to extend our apologies to the three speakers. We'll come to that in a minute. And we want to apologize. And Mr. Mara, Mr. Adamokoli, Mr. Kolifa, Mr. Jackie Johnson has left, and Mr. Sise, they're all here to take questions. So what I want to extend to the youth who wants to, you guys wanted to talk, is to perhaps through the Q&A, ask questions that can be then converted because time is against, oh God, she's looking at her speech, oh my God. So we want to profoundly apologize, and I will hand over the mic back to the chair. He is in charge, but he has asked me to apologize that we cannot extend the speaking time because of the facility managers here. So yeah, so that's it. So we are going to give the mic to the chairman, and he's going to take questions from the floor. Thank you very much. And please, when you ask your questions, don't label. You see, there is one thing we don't say, we don't ask questions, we start making statements. Please ask your questions, and the panel here, including questions about the progressives. We have Imran, we have Madam Zainab, we have Susan to take questions about the progressives, and of course we have those three fine lawyers, but also Mr. Qualifier here to take questions on legal issues. Thank you very much.
I'm sorry. And again, I just want to join my boss. Please, we are apologizing. We understand people could be frustrated for that. But please, we're hoping to have another session, okay? All of you have enough time. Today, we have so many things pursuing us right now as we sit here. That is why we are respectfully asking that we have a new direction. So let me see what happens, because we are constrained by time as well in this place we are in. So we are seeking if we can have some more time. So we give you, particularly youth, we want to hear you. We know you have loads and loads of energy to offer Sierra Leone. So we want to see how you present it, okay? But we are constrained with time at the moment, and besides, our elders in their keynote address, Maker is pressed somewhere. It needs to appear somewhere, unfortunately. But we'll see how we can work it over.
stories told in terms of what we do, not have jobs, skills, and opportunities. But we are not just problems to be solved, we are the solution.
And I'm Aisha. As a young Sierra Leonean woman, I know the challenges firsthand. Many of us dream big to be doctors, engineers, business leaders, or innovators. But without guidance and opportunity, too many of those dreams fade before they can even begin. That is why youth empowerment is not optional, it is urgent.
So what we need are pathways, clear and practical steps that connect our potential to real opportunities. And that is where the diaspora plays a vital role. You are living proof that Sierra Leoneans can thrive anywhere in the world. With your mentorship, your networks, and your knowledge, we can go further and we can go faster.
Imagine this, every Sierra Leonean professional in the diaspora mentoring just one young person back home. Imagine digital platforms where we connect across borders, sharing skills, guidance, and opportunities. Imagine small grants and training programs that empower young entrepreneurs to create jobs, not just seek them. That is empowerment. That is pathway.
We are not asking for handouts.
We are asking for hand-ups, doors to be opened, and chances to be given.
We are not the leaders of tomorrow.
We are leaders today, and with your support, Sierra Leone's youth will rise.
We wish to sincerely thank Mr. Ojokutu and his team for being among the first community elders to not only think of us, but to give us a voice at this important event.
This is a sign of change, the beginning of new possibilities, where young people are not only seen, but heard, valued, and recognized as central to Sierra Leone's present and future. Thank you all very much.
Thank you. One thing, sorry, forgot to mention when we had the break. I hope you have registered, put your name and email and contact number for the progressives, because Mr. MT is going to talk to you guys later on, but at the same time we need your contact details here. So please, if you haven't done that, please take your time and before you leave to do that. With that, I'll hand over now. I think it's Q&A now. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you, you wonderful youth. Because energy, we know your total involvement in Sierra Leone will make a difference. And we are looking forward to making sure you are well and fully incorporated. Okay? Thank you for your effort. At this stage, ladies and gentlemen, we are now in the other session of this occasion tonight. That is Q&A, questions and answers. But let me advise this. Because of the exigencies now and the tightness of time, we are looking into probably, that makes it more the reason why. Please put your name, your number if possible, and your email address. We probably will email you some of this stuff. Some of the answers may not be given here today because of time. By the time we finish that, we'll be here until midnight, and there are time issues here. So I thank you for all this time. We now commence the Q&A session.
Hello everybody, good evening. My name is Anita Broma, founder and country director of Larger Network Sierra Leone, CEO of EcoJC, leading for 11 years on Extra IG, and CEO of another Porsche, a clothing line. I believe in Sierra Leone. 15 years walking in and out of that country, I saw the pain, I saw the cry. I lived in Ebola, I was a patient care manager in Cape Town. I sacrificed my country. Today, where Sierra Leone is a crossroad. And if I can tell you the suffering, the loss, how cheap the country is. 10 years ago or 15 years ago, we were saying Sierra Leone is going back. Today, we are 20 years back. Where are we? People that are not belong and just the job. That's why I don't answer so we would see
So again, and this is why I disagree with people who say that the people that are winning the problem, not to win the problem. Let's tell you the effects of years of disempowerment. So just like a slavery, when you're weaken the man in faculties, they reach a point, the slave self cooperate with the slaver. So they appear as if say the slave had any problem. They didn't begin sales of slaves. No! It's years of disempowerment. That never happened to we. We now don't fall for cheap things. We don't fall for cheap things to a point that everybody don't feel say, maybe
almost lost my practice because I challenged issues. You get clients when they say, Mr. Macaulay, not to you to book lawyer, but if I put him out and control the case, I lost her. They go to other lawyers. And these are the sacrifices that some of us have made over the years. But again, the judiciary not just this so bad. And because you get somebody who want to win case by all cost, at all cost,
program tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, please give me your ears one more time this evening as I read these few words of mine to you. Distinguished keynote speaker, respected panelists, ladies and gentlemen, as we conclude this diaspora town hall meeting, the Sierra Leonean conversation, allow me to express on behalf of the progressives our deepest appreciation for your presence and your contribution to this historic dialogue. This evening, under the theme, Confronting Democratic Legitimacy, Media Accountability, and Social Renewal, we have been privileged to engage with voices of authority, insights, and vision. Together, we have examined the foundations of democratic governance, the indispensable role of a free and accountable press, and the urgent need for renewal in our social and civic life. We were greatly honored by the profound reflections of our keynote speaker, Mr. Augustine Seme Mara, whose address has challenged us to think boldly and act responsibly. We are equally grateful to our learned brother, Mr. Dimapoli, for his principled statement affirming the importance of democracy and accountability in Sierra Leone's future. Our sincere thanks go also to Mrs. Aissata Sise, Ms. Mahawa Kamara, Mrs. Agnes Pratt, and our youth delegates, each of whom illuminated key dimensions of this national conversation. Your voices have strengthened our resolve. Permit me to especially acknowledge the chairman for tonight, Mr. James B. Sise, for his steady stewardship of today's